Hi guys, I'd like to introduce another new toy. This time it's not RC. Yes, it's a little bit crazy, but it's Volvo C303, designated as the TGB11, made by Volvo. This model is from February 1976. It was produced. The began production about 74, and they continued right up to the 80s. About 8,700 Siaga were produced, and they were primarily for military use. Now this is the Swedish version of the Unimog and the Pingauer, Austrian Pingauer. It weighs about 2.5 tons and has a total weight of about 3.5 tons. It has portal axles. That means the axles don't go directly into the wheels, but they, I'll show you, they go up, and then there's a gearing on at every wheel. So it's very low geared, and because of that, it has a maximum speed of only about 80 kilometers per hour. Now the car itself is about 2 meters wide and about 4.4 meters long. It depending on which tires you have on it, it's about 2.2 to 2.3 meters in height. Now this was primarily for military personnel transport. They used it also for reconnaissance, transport of military goods. It has a NATO hook at the back. They also, on the top, I don't know if you can see it, it had a stand for a machine gun where the roof could be opened, and the gunner could stand and defend the vehicle. Now, as you can see, of course, there's some bullet holes. No, I'm just joking. These are just for fun. Here's the sprinkler fluid. Here's the cooler fluid. I 3D printed that myself. These are extra. These are not original. Somebody mounted it, I think the previous owner. And these holes are 24 volts. And they were used to get extra power in the field, especially when they had some chains in between them, and I read that they could be used as making emergency landing strips for aircraft, because the Swedish military planes could land on normal roads. Now it's a 7-seater, 2 people in front, as you can see here. So there are 2 people in front, and the engine is in the middle there. It's the old Volvo 6-cylinder straight engine with 3.0 liter engine. It was the same engine that was in the Volvo 164 version. Everything is mechanical. There's not a single electrical original electrical device. I mean digital, of course there's electrical. It's a 2 volt car. I put a back camera there to help me reverse, otherwise everything is mechanical. Here you can see it's 4-wheel drive, and you can choose rear wheel drive only or all 4-wheel drive. You also have differential lock front and back. It has 1 to 4 high gear and 1 to 4 low gear, and the engine is below. I would need 2 hands to open it up, but it's it's nice and warm, and you never freeze. That's the bulkhead that partitions it to the back, which I'll just show you now. Nice, good olden days soundproof. The front window can be opened and you get fresh air from the front. You just open it and you use these pins to hold it open. This is a very interesting button. This is the Mörkläggningsknapp. When there's enemy aircraft on above, you activate it, and it puts off all the light in the vehicle so that you cannot be detected. It's quite fun. Now it's a manual, as you can see. There's a clutch and everything is 24 volt. The top halves of all the doors can be dismantled, and it can be, you know, Jeep like, but in the cold weather here in Scandinavia we don't do that. This is the personnel part. 3 soldiers there, 1 there and 1 here. The previous owner has obviously changed the leather here. Here in you have the NATO socket that's used to jump start the vehicle if it was necessary. It can also be used to take 24 volts to use on another appliance. Now this soundproofing is aftermarket. The previous owner did this, and this can be opened and you have access to the back of the engine and the gearbox down here. So everything is accessible. The front of the engine in between the 2 seats and the gearbox here. This is the van part of it, and that is the baggage part of the vehicle. The inside of the doors, everything is mechanical and nothing electrical. Here we have the rear of the vehicle, a light for the back. It had a ham radio, which I removed because I don't have an amateur radio license. Otherwise you have the place for the spare tire, the NATO hook there, your extra jerry can for long journeys, and this is the baggage compartment, nice and big and roomy. Originally there's an axe that should be here, but I didn't replace it because of the stringent knife and sharp weapon laws here in Scandinavia, so it's now the place for my shovel. And the upper half of the back clap can also be removed if you want to go in Jeep mode. Here is where you fill the petrol up. It has a tank, an 85 liter tank that you can see there, and with the use of about 5 kilometers per liter, that gives it about a 400 kilometer range. Teak strips for bumpers, very, very simple, and quite simple and uncomplicated design. Practicality and functionality over design. Now this particular vehicle served in the army and was first retired in 2014. It has had 2 owners, and I'm the 3rd person after that. And that's the window there, the front, that can open up. Now this vehicle, like I mentioned, was primarily used for personnel transport. There was the 4-wheeler, that's this model, and then we had a 6-wheeler that had 6 wheels, all-wheel drive, and there were a few variations with whether they were closed cab or open cab. There was, however, one version of the 4-wheel that was labeled the tank killer. Well, it was labeled a tank killer because it was actually designed with, I think it was a 50mm gun on top. I don't know, I'm not sure it was 50mm. You can find the details. It's called if you just Google TGB11, that's 1111. It was called a tank killer because it was intended to hunt tanks and destroy them with the large armor-piercing gun. And it was exactly this model, just made with a variation so that the large gun actually stuck out in front of the window and you could put this down. Now, my plans for this car is just to have fun with it. I'm still learning about it. I have just had it for a couple of months. I will update you if I do anything large in it. I'll use it for short trips and sleepovers. An air mattress would fit quite nicely here in the back for short sleepovers. So well, another toy added to the collection, and I just thought I'd share it with you guys. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. If you have any comments or any information that I have not mentioned, you're welcome to post. Have a nice day. Bye.